Welcome to the third session of ASP.NET. In the current session, we shall discuss the programming constructs, the constructs used to control the execution of the statement, that is flow control constructs or flow control statements. Also, we shall introduce how variables can be used in ASP.NET program. For that, we shall directly go to the program. We shall open Visual Studio, Microsoft Visual Studio. In the last session, we mainly discussed about how to program a for-function calculation. We shall open the same application, same solution, sample.sl. For-function applications we have done the basic arithmetic operations. Today we shall introduce a new program. We shall develop a calculator. We just close the previous web form 2.aspx for the for function calculations. We shall develop a simple calculator. For that, click on the project menu, then add new item. We shall add a new web form. Click on the add button. Then the web form 3.aspx is displayed. To view the design page, click on the design. This is the design page of the calculator. We know how a calculator looks like. It contains a display area. For that, place a text box. Below that, we just place buttons. Four buttons in the first row, then another 4 buttons, the second row, and another 4 buttons in the third row, and one more set, another 4 buttons in the fourth row. Now there are 16 buttons. Select button 1, locate the text property, the text to be shown on the button. You just give 1. Then second button, locate the text property. I gave the text 2. Then third button, I gave text 3. In fourth button, I gave text 4. Button 1 is having text 1. I'll size the button a little bit larger. Since the text size depends the button size, I just resizing the button size. Now this will be the button size. Then button 1, 2 and 3, 4 will be in the next row. We shall leave it blank now and put 4 in the next button, then 5, 6, and in the next row 7, 8, 9, and in the last row 0, and 0 to 9 buttons. Then we put plus minus star slash plus for addition, minus for subtraction, then for multiplication star, and for division we are putting slash. Then here one more button, put it equal to. The result will be obtained while pressing equal to. One button is left here. We can use this button to clear the display. Clear. See. Then arrange the button size. While arranging, this current calculator program, we have to use some conditional statement. We have to use the conditional statement, if statement. Traditional programming languages, C programming, constructs can be used here. It can be used for conditional statements, if statement, switch statement, etc. can be used. Same can be used here. So, I am not good in designing, so the buttons are not aligned properly. Anyway, we can leave it as it is. Just better to be like this. So this is the design of a calculator. This is the design of a calculator. You know what will be the expected output? When you click on 0, the text box should contain 0. We know the code. Text box 1 dot text is equal to 0. Text box 1 dot text equal to 0. We can put either text box 1 dot text equal to 0 or the corresponding button name dot text. The button name dot text is also 0. I am directly putting the value 0. Then text box 1 dot text is 1. On clicking the button 2, text box 1 dot text, the corresponding value is given there. On clicking 3, text box 1 dot text is equal to 3. Right now I am stopping here and going to execute to check whether it is appropriate or not. After that, we shall continue. Upon execution, our calculator we designed in webform 3.aspx, it will be displayed. Since my computer is connected to internet, I have to adjust to execute the local host. We shall check. Let us check. No, it directly came. When I click on 0, it comes here 0. When I click 1, it comes here 1. When I click 2, it comes here 2. When I click 3, it also comes here 3. But suppose I want to enter 12, then first 1, then 2. 1 is replaced by 2. So 12 cannot be entered. So we have to modify the code accordingly. At present, we coded textbox 1.text is equal to 2. Then the content in the text box, whatever may be, it is overrated to 2. So we have to modify accordingly. When textbox 1.text is stored with 1, whatever content in the text box should be preserved and 1 should be concatenated. 1 should be concatenated. Like that, the code should be modified. Then 0 is added to the click to the text box. Added to the text box. Along with the content of text box, the 0 is added. Along with the content, the 0 is added. Along with the content, the 1 is added. Along with the content, here the 3 is added. Then upon clicking on the button 4, what all things are in the text box? Along with the text box content, the 4 is added. Here the 4 is added. And here the 5 is added with the content on the text box. Like that. 6. I am just copy and pasting, editing the values. The text box, the code is same, only the values are different. 7 and 2 more buttons remaining. 8 and 9. 0 we already done. 0 we done initially. After that, we went to 1, and here it is 9. Then 0 to 9 button is coded here. Then what about C? The text box should be cleared. The text property should be cleared. For that, text box 1.text, the property, there will be no value. Just now 2 double quotes, empty string. Then we have coded 0 to 9 and C. Only 5 more buttons remaining, plus, minus, star, slash and equal to. The last session we did the arithmetic operations for functions. So we know how to add, how to subtract, etc. But there was 2 operands specified there itself. Here only one text box is there. Only one text box. In the previous session, we had 3 text boxes. Out of the 3, 2 for the operands and 1 for the result. Here, the operand, 2 operands and the result itself should be displayed in the same text box. So 12, it is okay. 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 0, and it is clear. The code is working. And we have to code plus, minus, star, slash, and equal to. What should be the procedure? Suppose 12 is the operand 1. Then click on plus. Upon plus, the content in text box should be considered as operand 1. After plus, 23 should be considered as operand 2. And equal to, upon equal to 12 plus 23, the result should be displayed in the text box. We shall check how it can be done. I am using a variable here. I am using a variable to store whether it is plus, minus, star, or slash. The operator, whether the operator is for addition, subtraction, etc. I am going to use a variable. I am going to use a session variable. The local variables used in ASP.NET can be considered as session variables. The variables that pass value from one session to another. Upon execution, you can see that our program is executing in a web browser. I'll show you why sessions are important here. At present, the browser is having a backward and a forward button that is indicated by arrow marks here. Click to go forward, click to go backward, left arrow mark and right arrow mark. Now it is inactive here. I am just indicating a value 25 and clicking any button. An event will occur and the browser refreshes. Now there is a back arrow. This is active. It means that back there was a browser representation and upon execution it went to forward. And that means a new session occurs. The browser refreshes and a new execution, the new web page is loaded there. For that we need session variables. To pass values from one session to another, session variables must be needed. Before clicking plus, the value should be preserved there as operand 1, and at the time of clicking equal to, we have value at the text box, that is operand 2, and operand 1 and operand 2 should be added to get the result. We shall check how it is. Upon clicking plus, I am using a variable, session variable, operator, session OP for operator equal to plus, operator equal to plus. One more session variable, session operand 1. Where will be the operand 1? Is in the text box 1 dot text. Session operand is in the text box 1 dot text. We have to do one more thing. The text box must be cleared to hold second operand. I have done 3 statements. Upon clicking the plus button, an operator variable is initialized to know it is plus, operand 1 is stored, and text box 1 is cleared to store the second operand. Then click on equal to. Here we have to check if session of OP, if session of operator equal to plus, if session of operator equal to plus, operator dot toString, session of operator dot toString equal to plus, then what we have to do? Text box 1 dot text is equal to session of operand 1 plus the second operand is in the text box itself. We have to store it in a variable known as session of operand 2, session of operand 2 is equal to text box 1 dot text. The second operand is now in the variable session of operand 2. So text box 1 dot text is equal to session of operand 1 plus session of operand 2. Session of operand 1 plus session of operand 2. Since these are two session variables, we have to perform the numeric addition. The last session we have performed casting of values. Suppose it is integer values, int dot parse function is used, int dot parse is used in first operand, in second also int dot parse and two integer values are added together. Here we get a numeric value and it should be converted to string, that is toString method is used. ToString method is used. Int dot parse session of operand 1 dot toString plus int dot parse session of operand 2 dot toString dot toString. The first operand is converted to string, then it is converted to integer. Session variable is a session state, is a class, is converted to string, then to integer. Also here also it is converted to string and integer. Two numeric values are added together and here it is stored in the. We shall check whether addition is performed. If it is okay, we shall move to subtraction, multiplication and division. Upon execution, our form is loading. The form 3.aspx is loading and I am taking here 12 plus 12. Operand 1 is 12, operand 2 is 12. 12 plus 2 is equal to 24. Is executed. Then 25, another 22 plus 25 equal to 47 plus 3 equal to 50. The addition is working correctly. So similar things we shall do in the remaining operators I'm just copied the code for plus. Upon clicking minus, the same procedure. On clicking minus, the same procedure is copied here. Instead of plus, I put the operator minus to indicate it is minus button. And here for the multiplication, star, and for the division, I put the operator slash. Instead of these operators, here I can use the numeric values also 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 for addition, like that. Is upon our logic. If session of operator is plus, then next else if session of operator is equal to minus, what should be done? Instead of plus, minus operation should be performed. Then else if the operator is star, then product should be obtained, star operator. And in the last case, if it is slash, the quotient should be okay. I'm saving the program and executing to check whether our calculator is working correct or not. Now we coded all buttons 0 to 9 digits, plus minus star slash operators, and equal to button, as well as the clear button. We shall check whether our normal calculator works or not. I am using two operands, 25 plus 50. 25 plus 50 is equal to 75. It is working. 50 minus 5 is equal to 50 minus 5. It is not working correctly. I'll check once more. 50 minus 5 equal to 45. It is fitting correctly. 45. 45 into 2 equals 90. 90 divided by 3 equals 30. 30 plus 5 equals 35 minus 20. 35 minus 20 is equal to 15. 15 into 25. 15 into 25 is equal to 375. Divided by 15 is equal to 25. So all the buttons are working correctly. All the buttons are working correctly. So a basic calculator we have built here. Other than building a calculator, I tried to point out in the current session how session variables can be used. We have not declared anywhere the variable. We just use session. After that, like a list, in double quotes we specified a variable OP, operand 1, operand 2. How session variables can be used. How the control statements can be used. If statements can be used in in C Sharp or ASP.NET programming. How a set of code is noted here, a set of code. By using this simple code and simple logic, we can create a small application, a basic calculator, a basic calculator. I think you all understood this. You all have to do and check whether it is executing correct or not. To check whether it is executing correct or not. Okay, thank you.